In this video, we are going to deep dive critical hits to see just how good they are in Baldur's Gate 3. I will provide examples and show you what you can do to increase your critical hit chance. We'll cover the basics so we're all on the same page, and then we'll jump into the more advanced stuff. First thing that we need to know is our critical hit chance, which is easy. You have to roll a 20 on a d20, so that makes it a 5% chance to crit. If you get a critical hit, determining critical damage is pretty easy. Just roll your weapon's damage dice twice instead of once and add your modifiers. Quick side note, these modifiers do not include your proficiency bonus. They will just be whatever stat you use for damage and whatever buffs that you have. Proficiency is only for your hit chance. Anyways, once you roll your damage dice twice instead of once and add modifiers, you get the damage dealt. Unless, of course, you are a half-orc, in which case you roll your weapon's damage dice thrice, because orcs are awesome. Now we see Lae'zel critting here. Her weapon does 2d6 damage plus 1d4 fire damage plus her modifiers, which is plus 3 for strength in her case. Since it's a critical hit, she rolls her weapon damage die, which is 2d6 twice, and adds her modifier, which is plus 3, giving her a total of 17. But this weapon also has fire damage, which is also rolled twice on a critical strike, so that's an extra 2d4 damage that we need to add for this crit. It totals up to 20 damage. Pretty damn nice for having just hit level 3. Now, let's see how much damage per attack that comes out to. We can see here that this blade does 6 to 19 damage per attack, which averages out to 12.5 damage per attack. Also, I do want to add that these numbers shown here include modifiers already, so you don't have to add those. What you see here, Larian's done the math for you. That's just the damage that you're going to deal. Unfortunately, since critical strikes don't take modifiers into account, we have to do our own math here. So we'll roll 4d6 on a critical strike, which is 4 to 24 damage, and that averages out to 14 damage per critical hit. Then we add Lae'zel's plus 3 bonus modifier, so that's 17 damage on average. Then we have to add the fire damage dice, which comes out to 5 on average. Altogether, that's 23 damage on average for Lae'zel whenever she crits with this weapon. Now we want to see how much real damage Lae'zel's crits add per attack, so we have to go ahead and divide our result by 20. So 22 divided by 20 equals 1.1 damage per attack. Not even a 10% increase to Lae'zel's 12.5 average damage per attack. Well, damn. I guess critical hits aren't really that good in Baldur's Gate 3 after all. Or at least that is what certain foolish right-handed persons might tell you. But let the others laugh at that fool while we uncover the true damage potential of critical hits. First, gaining advantage on your attack rolls is not hard to do in this game, and having advantage on your attack roll effectively doubles your crit chance, turning that sad little 1.1 damage increase that we had earlier into a more respectable 2.2 damage per attack increase. Maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, but remember we are only level 3 here, and a large number of enemies at this level only have 7 to 9 hit points. Okay, now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine this. Imagine that you are playing an orc, which gives you an extra set of damage die when you crit, and imagine that you are playing a champion, or at least that you use 3 levels to dip and pick up champion, since they can crit on a 19 or a 20. Suddenly, your critical damage per swing calculation looks like this, instead of like this. With this new calculation, if you were to build this way, even if you roll all ones on your damage die, whenever you critically hit level 3 enemies, you are going to one-shot them. Okay, and not only that, but you now crit twice as often. Pretty frickin' spicy, huh? And guess what? That's right, there is more. How can there be more, you ask? Well, Larian, in their infinite awesomeness, saw fit to bless we loyal fans with tools to automatically crit on every hit we land. When affecting enemies, spells like Sleep, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and Hold Person guarantee you a critical hit if you can land a hit. Also, it's rumored that some classes may even come with built-in auto-crit abilities. And for those of you who choose to become squids, well, you'll probably have even more access to abilities that can grant critical hits. That's speculation, but I bet it turns out to be true. Honestly, I don't really know what all spells and abilities there will be that allow auto crits whenever the game releases, and I have no idea how much damage per attack that will eventually average out to. But I will say that I would be truly surprised if players don't figure out builds that can crit on well more than half of the attacks that they make, at least for the more difficult fights. And as a wise woman oh, excuse me. No, her name isn't Achu, but rather Ashu. And as she said, the best way to improve your crit chance in Baldur's Gate 3 is to increase your hit chance in Baldur's Gate 3. And you know what? I think after considering all of this, that she has a pretty damn good chance of being proven right in that statement when the game releases. Now, our next video will cover all the ways to improve your hit chance. Sorry for all the math in this one. We'll try to mostly skip that in the next one. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.